In 1971, an American Airlines flight had just taken off when a passenger sitting in the very last row called the flight attendant over with a smile and handed her a note. The note contained just a few words that caused a stir throughout the United States. Who was this passenger, and why has the FBI been unable to find him, dead or alive, even after 50 years? Not only has America's most powerful intelligence agency failed to locate him, but they haven't been able to extract any substantial information through him either. Welcome back to Fusion Art Videos. This intriguing story begins on November 24, 1971, at Portland Airport. A man who looked like a businessman booked a ticket from Portland to Seattle and headed straight to the plane. At that time, there were no security checks, no baggage checks, and no identity verification at American airports. The aircraft was a Northwest Orient Airlines Boeing 727, scheduled to fly from Portland to Seattle in just 45 minutes. The passenger boarded with sunglasses and a briefcase and chose a seat at the very back of the plane. He ordered a drink and lit a cigarette. Smoking was allowed on flights back in the 70s. At exactly 2:58 p.m., the flight took off. Shortly after takeoff, the man turned around, called over a nearby flight attendant named Florence Schaffner, handed her an envelope with a smile, and told her to sit beside him. When Florence read the note, she was shocked. The note read, "I have a bomb and would like you to sit by me." When she sat next to him, he opened his briefcase, revealing 8 sticks of dynamite and a detonator. The plane had officially been hijacked, and the hijacker had 3 demands: $200,000 in cash, 2 parachutes, and a refueling truck ready at the airport. He indirectly warned Florence that any mistake could lead to the bomb's detonation. The flight, which was supposed to land in Seattle in just 45 minutes, continued to circle the airport for the next 90 minutes. The 35 passengers, unaware of the hijacking, were told there was a technical issue causing the delay in landing. During this time, $20 bills totaling $200,000 were collected from the Seattle National Bank, and the serial numbers were noted. 2 sets of parachutes were also arranged from a nearby skydiving club. At 5:45 p.m., the plane landed, and the hijacker received the bag of money and parachutes as promised. He allowed the 35 passengers and 2 flight crew members to leave the aircraft while ordering the pilots and 2 remaining crew members to stay. It was now dark, and the plane took off again. The hijacker gave specific instructions via Tina Mucklow, the flight attendant, to the pilot. He wanted the landing gear and flaps to remain down, the altitude to be kept at 10,000 feet, and the speed at 320 km per hour, and the plane should head straight to Mexico City. The pilot explained that flying directly to Mexico City wasn't feasible due to fuel limitations, so he suggested 2 refueling stops, which the hijacker agreed to. Meanwhile, local and federal authorities deployed fighter jets to follow the plane, but the jets could not maintain the plane's slow speed and began circling instead. While flying in the darkness, the hijacker instructed Tina Mucklow to go to the cockpit, where 2 pilots and a flight attendant were present. As she closed the cockpit door, she saw the hijacker tying something around his waist and then lowering the stairs before jumping off the plane. After 3 hours, the plane landed, and a thorough search was conducted, but there was no sign of the hijacker, no briefcase, and no money. The hijacker, later known as D.B. Cooper, had vanished without a trace. Over the years, the FBI tried to determine where he had jumped from the plane, based on the flight's autopilot records, speed, altitude, and the time when the plane's stairs were open. They defined a search area of about 45 square kilometers, comprising dense forests and mountains, but neither D.B. Cooper nor any of the money was found. Interestingly, the FBI was so puzzled that, for the first time in American history, they asked the public for help in solving the case. A sketch of Cooper and the serial numbers of the $200,000 were published in newspapers, and a reward was announced for anyone who could provide information. Despite these efforts, not a single bill from that serial number ever surfaced again. However, the case took another twist in 1980 when a young boy playing with his parents along the Columbia River discovered 3 bundles of notes totaling $5,800, matching the serial numbers from the ransom money. This discovery complicated the case even further, as the money was found 27 kilometers away from the suspected drop zone. Initially, it was believed that the money had flowed down the Lewis River and washed up on the Columbia River's bank. However, it was later noted that the Columbia River flows in the opposite direction, making this theory impossible. Further investigations revealed that sand had been dredged and placed along the riverbank in 1974, 3 years after the hijacking, and the money was found in this sand. This finding suggested that either D.B. Cooper or an accomplice had deliberately buried the money to mislead investigators. Despite investigations, no further significant clues were found. Except for the $5,800 found in 1980, no other bills from the ransom have ever been recovered. The only remaining pieces of evidence are the tie Cooper left behind, a sketch based on eyewitness accounts, and the ticket he had purchased under the name D.B. Cooper. The FBI has been puzzled by this case for over 50 years, and it remains unsolved. Even today, the FBI's website holds all the details, and the case file is still open. We hope you enjoyed this video on Fusion Art. Please like and share, and thank you for your comments. See you in the next exciting video.